Hello everyone, it's episode 70 of the General Damage Podcast.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It is going, my friend.
Yeah, I feel you, man. It is going.
This is going.
Oh, boy.
We'll just go right into introductions. I'm Nick.
I'm Will.
And I'm Shane.
Yeah. Yes, Shane is here. We're all here. It sounds really... It's our 70th podcast. We've been doing this for 70 episodes, and we should be excited, but at the same time, you know, weeks happen.
I don't know.
Not bad weeks, just crazy weeks.
I feel like 70 is not like that important of a number, so fuck 70.
No, I mean, it's up there. I mean, 70 weeks is a long time.
True.
I mean, the fact that we have gone 70 weeks is a milestone in of itself. Like every episode that we keep putting out and keep creating is its own continuous milestone of like we haven't given up on this, that we keep doing it and we keep enjoying doing it. Just damn if this week hasn't felt long and will only feel longer.
Well, for me and Will, it's been somewhat of quote unquote a short week. Yeah, because we went on a trip, and my work week started Tuesday, and it's only Thursday, and it's like Jesus Christ, I need another week. I need another 4-day weekend.
And for me, I got back from this vacation, basically unloaded that bag, have thrown whatever laundry was in there into the washer, only to pack for another trip that I'm leaving on Saturday for, and I'm gone for like a week and some days. So this month has felt, just this month in its entirety, has felt long.
Yeah, that seems like it.
I am... So my... I've said it multiple times on our podcast. I'm usually am the most tired one out of us, and that's kind of like the "Hey Will, how you doing? I'm tired," and then it's usually followed up by "What else is new?" Damn if this hasn't been like the month I felt the most drained or capped for energy, because of just like the amount of trips I've gone on. So far 2 out of the 3 trips I've been on have been me as the driver, and that's its own kind of like taxing thing, because your mind isn't at kind of a zero, so to speak, kind of a relaxed state. You have to be focused. You have to watch people around you. And with this trip, this coming trip, I don't know if I'm going to be a driver or not. I think I'll find out. So I'm just like, I'm hoping to get as much sleep and rest before I leave, and then I'm hoping to get as much like rest while I'm in Oregon. Because boy howdy, I'd like it.
You need a week where you just don't do anything after the fact.
I really do, and it's funny. I had like a week plus between my Austin trip and our camping trip we went on, or cabining trip.
Right. Cabin trip.
Yeah. And I thought, this would be the perfect time to kind of like relax, kick back, and kind of recover. Man, I don't feel like I did it all.
Yeah.
But after this trip, I don't have another one planned till the tail end of August. So I have some downtime to kind of recover a bit and kind of relax. But damn, it's been a crazy month.
Yeah, seems like it. Speaking of our cabin trip, I was going to mention this to you about this before we started, but I'll mention now. We went with our D&D group. We should have played D&D up there, but at the same time, it was going to be work for me, and I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But now, the entire time we're up there, we didn't really do much outside the cabin. We just like hung out there, I think. I think it was like an event between meals, if it seemed. Because like we we'd have breakfast, and then there was the eventual cleanup and storing, and then there's other conversations that would happen, and maybe a game. The next thing you know, be lunch.
Yeah.
And the same fucking routine happened until dinner. It was bizarre. But
I mean, sometimes a vacation's nothing more than just being outside the norm.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was relaxing. It was nice to be there.
Yeah.
But the funny thing that happened was my coworker, one of my coworkers, she goes to the place that we go to. We went to Arnold, California.
Oh, all right.
So she goes there a lot.
Yeah.
Because she gets a cabin through her husband's work and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then a guy I talked to at our alma mater, he goes there a lot.
Interesting.
And they both recommended places that we never went to.
Funny.
That's cool.
It was cool, but at the same time frustrating. It's like, well, god damn it.
Yeah.
Because my coworker mentioned this thing called Red Apple, which we passed through on my way to my parents.
Oh, did we? Okay.
Yeah, and like apparently they have like really killer apple cider and apple fritters and pies and all this kind of stuff. Like it's like fucking amazing. Apparently,
what?
It's like god damn it.
God damn it.
And you'll get a kick out of this one. Apparently, there's a brewery called the Horseshoe.
Oh,
I forget.
Was it Snowshoe Brewery?
Yeah, Snowshoe. That's what it was.
We passed by it. Funny enough.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He recommended that, and it's like,
oh, damn.
Okay, man. Well, I guess we have to go back. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing that again sometime in the future. Maybe when it's not 95 as a high.
I would agree.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I would love to see it like in the fall, but that's just me.
For sure. I definitely. It was definitely a fun trip. Having access to kind of like the home amenities that we did was kind of nice. It made cooking and cleaning a lot easier than if we were actually went on a camping trip.
Camping trip.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely like a plus. Yeah, it also was like just a really nice place that we were at. Like the area was really pretty and really relaxing.
Yeah, I mean, it was fairly relaxing up there.
Yeah, definitely an enjoyable trip.
Yeah, and maybe next time if we go with the D&D crew, we'll have D&D.
Yeah.
Or something of that, something. We'll have an RPG. I don't know. Whether it be D&D or not, who the fuck knows?
Fuck, we could even do just a one-off if we felt like it, like a 3-day one-off, and just kind of have a good time. Hopefully leave a little bit earlier. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
To go there, absolutely. To come back, I think we left at a fair time.
I would agree.
I would have liked to gotten there like when the sun was still up.
Yep,
but that's just.
I mean, I'm with you on that one, but I think a lot of that comes from the amount of like camping trips or family excursions kind of we've been on. That it's kind of maybe somewhat ingrained that it's just like, yep, this makes sense. Leaving this early makes sense to beat this amount of traffic. But
meeting all at the same place also makes sense.
Yeah. But with anything you do, it's food for thought. It's something to if you enjoyed it one time and you want to do it again, you just plan for it another time. So that's kind of our food for thought.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's like our PAX trips. It's like, okay, well, if we ever do Dev again and we're in Seattle for a whole fucking week, we don't explore Seattle.
Oh my god, we don't burn ourselves out the first 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
that was half the problem. Well, that was half the problem on the first day. The other problem was, unfortunately, your dog.
Oh yeah, that was like the worst news you could receive in something like that.
Yeah. So. Yeah. No, it's whatever.
It is.
Well,
it is.
So really quick, since my weekend wasn't too bad. My week's actually been a little bit more interesting, surprisingly.
Alright.
Oh, well, my sister's visiting.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
That kind of interesting.
Well, I mean, siblings, always interesting, right?
Agreed.
On top of, her showing up, what happened was I started running a D&D campaign again. which is fun and exciting and all that. But honestly, our first session was today, and just before that session, my family decided, hey, your sister's home, we're having steamers, and we're doing it on Thursday, and I was like, fuck. So, it's like...
Steamers is...
they're type of clam.
Oh, okay.
They're a type of clam with a head and a stomach, and, when you crack them open after boiling them, they steam. Very simple naming convention.
Yeah, simple. Not eating it, but simple.
Yeah. But, so, it was a weird fun juggling that, and, luckily we'd been hanging out before, so I was like, hey, I got something going on. I promised people I'd be online, so I ate, ran back to my room. And so the thing is, I only want to bring up D&D because it's funny. For anyone who thinks about wanting to play tabletops, who does play tabletops, right? There's always this cool thing about wanting to play, right? And being new, and that's for a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's funny though because this party that I've constructed, or the players that I've gathered, there's only 4 of them. They are basically all the different ways a new player would treat the game. I've got one guy who's into it, but he's kind of goofy about it, which is fine because his character's goofy.
Okay.
Right.
I got one guy who's super into his character, and he's kind of goofy, but not by choice, but because his rolls suck.
I know that feeling.
Yep. I've got one guy.
With a good roll.
I got one guy playing a paladin, who he's not necessarily good at doing certain role play things, but he really understands his character, so he's good at that. And then I got one guy who understands his character, but he's not very good at role play, and it kind of shows because it's like I do this, there's the hesitation. But so
yeah, I've seen that with new people. It's like, okay, I don't think my character would do that. They kind of speak in a weird third person-ish.
Yeah. Well, actually, the goofy player, he's playing a rat alchemist. That character does speak in the third person.
I mean, if it makes sense for his character, it makes sense for his character, right?
But it's really funny because there's always that moment in D&D where players are not sure if they're supposed to be doing something or they're not. It's a very explorative thing. Well, I had the funniest fucking moment because this is on Roll20. And so I set up background pictures to describe certain scenes. And I basically, I set up some clues, I gave them choices, and they come to these servants' quarters, right? And what happens is I bring up the servants' quarter picture, and one of the players goes, oh fuck, it's a trap. We're falling right into the story.
Okay, that's a weird way to say it.
Well, so it's like, oh god, he was expecting us to go here. Because I only have X amount of backgrounds. I got 7 right now.
Right.
But so, I thought it was funny because in my mind, I'm just I wish I had 20 backgrounds for all these different areas they're going to go to, but I can only find 7 on short notice.
Yeah.
But in their minds, it completely became something different. And then immediately, they all roll perception checks, like most noobs would do. Based on this one guy's exclamation. 3 of them roll critical ones.
Okay.
Solid.
And it's great because, in their minds, it's oh god, a 1 is it's, pretty much, I'm going to get fucked with, something's going to happen. And basically, I just made them all look like idiots. And the one guy who rolled a 15... they were oh god, is the door trapped? Is the threshold trapped? Is the room trapped, right? And they basically all Three Stooges do that thing where they open a door and they all fumble through.
Oh, okay.
And then one guy, I tell the one guy, it's just a fucking room. And you know that. And and we play for about 5 hours, and that's basically what it was. But it was interesting because I know that when people start getting experienced and comfortable with the game, they approach things differently.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't take things seriously. Sometimes they take them seriously when they need to, and all that. But I just thought it was so cool because all of them, just immediately, just by having a picture, by the way, which was a stock footage of a servant's quarter in an old century castle, that was enough to make them all hit the panic button and all start rolling perception.
Well, you got them spooked. what edition are you playing? You're playing D&D, right? Like actual D&D, not Pathfinder?
No, we are playing Pathfinder.
Oh, you are playing Pathfinder.
We switched.
I thought you were playing another edition.
We were going to play 5e, but then what happened was, basically, the players were like, well, if he's more comfortable with Pathfinder, it's probably better. And also, Roll20 had Pathfinder rules built in.
Oh, cool.
So we were like, sure, why not? But all in all, that was just my little D&D thing. I just thought it was funny because one of these guys, he's actually he's like a computer engineer for his degree. Right. And he's working on like basically computer learning, like AI. That's what he works on. Okay. And so for him to see triple ones, I think didn't necessarily break him, but it definitely was really concerning to him because he's like, oh my god, the statistical average of all of us rolling ones at the same time on the same thing. Yeah. But it's funny when people break it down like that, when people just see it and react. And, you know.
Yeah.
And hey, if you ever think, oh, maybe I want to play D&D, do it because this shit can be funny.
Yeah, I mean, you can also play Fiasco, which is another, it's a GM-less game. It's still pretty fun.
You can also play Eclipse Phase, which is another role-playing game, but only uses
percentiles.
Uses percentiles and then a few other dice here and there when it feels needed.
RPGs abound. I mean, they there's some duds and there's some good ones.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Shane.
Yeah.
Correct me on this. I mean, since you kind of, I guess, have rules literally built into the game that kind of correct for, I guess, human error.
Yeah.
A critical fail or a crit on, say, a skill check like Perception doesn't have a bonus to it, right? Like, there's no point. Like, you just max your Perception if you roll a 20.
So the way I look at it is, if you roll a 20, you don't only see things, but you get a feel for the room, the feel for the people and stuff. Like, you are perceptive of more than senses. You know what I'm saying? At the same time,
well, I get what you're saying.
Granted, my players,
because the way I've been playing is rolling a 1 or rolling a 20 when you're doing a skill check doesn't mean the same what it would mean in combat.
The way
like you rolled a 1, you add it to your Perception. Well, you're now at an 8, so you didn't see anything.
Well, so I still have people fail checks, but I have them fail checks in a way that most people would normally fail those things in real life. Like, for instance, if you roll a 1 on an acrobatics thing, and even though if you come out to an 8, basically it's like you tripped. It wasn't spectacular, It wasn't terrible, you didn't do it. Or, better yet, I had one of my characters be accidentally racist because he rolled a 1 on a perception check. And the thing was, he goes, why would I blurt that out? It's a perception check. I'm like, because it's a 1. You were impulsive. You saw something and then immediately said it. Like, that's like what like an actual idiot would. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. It's not like rolling skill checks. And this is actually a good rule of thumb for anyone who's thinking about being a DM. It's not about punishing people when they fail or when they succeed. It's not about super rewarding them. It's about just, adding to what the narrative of what's happening. This is how I treat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. I don't like power DMs. They're just like, they think it's 1 versus 5 when it's never that. Like, being a dick DM just ruins everything. Which I've seen dick DMs, and it's like, why are you even playing if that's your goal is to quote win?
Yeah, I don't.
Which is not the point of that fucking game.
Truth.
It's not the point of any RPG is to win. It's bullshit.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, I mean, video game aside.
Well, I mean, that's a different thing. Role playing games, it's about the story and the experience, not about winning. Video games, they have a winning mechanic.
Well, yeah, I mean they're contained. So, like in the case of an RPG, that's just, let's say Skyrim, for lack of a better example. It's just about completing what you can complete and beating the game. Yeah, you could probably play it forever, but it's about doing that. Whereas with WoW, it is endless.
Yeah. And
with WoW, there's also a bunch of other things you can do. I mean, that's like, I think you can cut that up to see what you want with it. Yeah. Like, oh, I just want to hang out with my friends, I want to do this, or I want to go lone wolf it and just grab a bunch of achievements, or I want to do raids. I think there's something there for everyone in the video game spectrum.
Yeah.
With tabletop RPGs, it's more about this experience. I think the goal of D&D or any RPG is to have a story to tell later.
So, actually, can I use that to jump into another topic? Because what you said right there. All right. What is a movie, gentlemen? If like, okay.
Fuck.
So, ready?
I know this one.
I've always thought that a movie is a visual story, right? It's a snippet of a world's story.
Sure.
It's not the whole story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's the problem with Terminator. We always get this one little snippet. It's like, can I just see the war?
Right?
No, never.
I just want to see robots and humans killing each other.
So,
but no.
I saw
Settle
Valerian.
for Phantom Menace. You saw Valerian?
I saw Valerian. And by the way, Valerian really should be named Valerian in the city of maybe 4.5 planets. Fucking trailer lied to my face.
Okay.
Yeah, isn't it called? Yeah, it's called Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets.
Right. You don't even fucking explore that city. It's bullshit.
That sucks.
I'll tell you right now. Cool visuals, right?
Sure.
A movie, like, it's a flashy movie, cool visuals. It has an interesting plot just by, like, reading the summary, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did not experience anything in this movie that didn't feel overly generic, that didn't feel grossly simplified, and I did not like any of the characters.
That's unfortunate.
That's just a base level thing. Don't make me go into the directorial choices. Don't make me go into the shitty edits. Do not make me go into the terrible dialogue. Literally, ready?
Fine, we won't.
Let me tell you right now, ready? This is a literal line of the movie. The bad guy says, "I didn't know the planet was inhabited." It cuts to a flashback of his lieutenant going, "Sir, the planet is inhabited."
What the fuck?
That's literally a scene. Is the bad guy says, "I didn't know it was inhabited," and then it's a flashback cut literally right after he says that of someone telling him it was.
So he's either incompetent or he's faking incompetency.
It was more like it's more like he's stressed out and he's trying to hide the truth, and it was just so bad. And okay, when you see a movie, especially a sci-fi movie, right? Especially a movie that boasts like a super crazy world, right?
Right.
You want to see the super crazy world.
Yeah.
You don't see any of that. You see like maybe the coolest part you see in a trailer, by the way. It's when he's running through all the different biomes in that space station.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the first 15 minutes of being on that space station, and then that's it.
Figured. Honestly, I figured.
It hurt. It hurt in the worst way, and it was just like, I'm sure the Valerian comic is really cool.
It is. It's very, very.
I'm sure that story in the comic was probably really cool, the way it was presented. Don't title a movie or a story City of 1,000 Planets if you don't actually explore that place, because it wasn't about that. It was literally just about Valerian doing his job, and I'm pretty sure the whole movie takes place within like a 12-hour time span. And it just it fell really short. And I was actually upset because I was like, well, this movie looks pretty cool. I'm sure it might be interesting, right? You know, it's different. European comic, right?
Yeah, it's a French comic.
Yeah. The direction they took, and just like they introduced a really cool character for like maybe 2 scenes. Dies going down a garbage chute.
Fucking what?
Dies going down a garbage chute, and I'm just like, and of course their death makes no sense, and they say all this stuff about like watch my kingdom, even though the character was like a slave, and I'm like, done. You just killed a really interesting character to make me try and sympathize with this Valerian, who by the way has no likable qualities yet.
Oh.
If you don't like a character within the first 30 minutes of a movie, or if you don't ramp up to liking him at some point, oh my god. So yeah,
fair enough.
Like all in all, this is one of the few times I've actually hated a movie. Like most of the time, I'm disappointed or I'm like, it was mediocre, right? Now this is the one time I'm saying this. Fuck Valerian. Movie was garbage.
Will's still probably going to try and see it.
Yeah, I still want to go see it. It's just kind of
see it and judge it for yourself. Because you might be like Shade. I actually thought it was pretty passable. I will disagree, but I will say this: if you want to see it, still see it. But
sure,
it just made me mad.
Yeah, that's understandable.
There was someone that said about Valerian was like because it's Luc Besson who did Fifth Element.
Yeah. And
someone I think it was a review or something like that. They said this shows me how easily Fifth Element could have been a terrible movie.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I can imagine.
See, that's the thing that was so weird.
That's an interesting statement.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing. It's like, oh, the Fifth Element was really good. I like the Fifth Element, right?
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what it was. I also heard that statement because I was listening to Rooster Teeth podcast the other day. Gavin was talking about the movie. Gavin was like, the movie's garbage. and by the way, that's the first time I think I've ever shared an opinion with Gavin Fried.
that's saying a lot.
Yeah. But
to go on the flip side, Shane, for movies that we've seen, I got to see Baby Driver. I've been wanting to see it and kind of had an opportunity that events kind of worked out to go see it. That movie is phenomenal. If you've not gotten a chance to see it, it's definitely worth your time to go see that movie. It's super good. There were scenes in the movie I was not expecting. Just didn't see it coming at all. And I will say the editing is what's fantastic about that movie. They kind of talk about it. I don't know how much this is spoiling it, but they talk about in the trailers that Baby has kind of a hearing issue, and it's you find out it's tinnitus. He has tinnitus. The reason why is explained in the movie. I'm not gonna go too deep in that.
That's fine.
But throughout large portions of the movie, there's actually a low ringing that's in the background, and it's to kind of simulate the tinnitus he has. So sequences when he doesn't have his earbuds in, or when they're kind of half out, there's a bit of a ringing going on, which is just it's not annoying to hear, but it's to kind of reflect that feeling that Baby has. It's very cool.
That's interesting.
Also, music is very important to the movie. This kid has earbuds in all the time. Music seems like a driving force. Music's a driving force to a lot of moving sequences and background noises. The fact that you have background noises that mimic beats during the song, and they mimic them, exactly from maybe him revving the engine to even people's conversations and how it's spoken out was on the beat of the music. Just subtle things that if it may not seem apparent your first kind of watch through, but it was something like I noticed very early on how much the background audio was skewed to the music that was playing, and I thought that was super cool.
Well, I saw this interview with Jamie Foxx, and he said they were all wearing earwigs that have what the music was going to be for that scene.
Yeah.
So he can time it right, and they all practice and kind of, you could say, choreographed it.
Yeah.
So when he shot his gun, he was shooting it on the beats.
Yeah, and
so that's kind of neat.
It's very cool. It's one of those movies that the later half of the movie totally surprised me. Was not expecting some things to happen, but was really happy it did. And just the overall feel of it is super fun, while still being like, there are moments where you fear for the main character. So good movie.
That's cool.
I holistically recommend it. Especially if you're kind of in in the movies, you like the movies and stuff, and you like very intelligently thought out edits and editorial choices. Like, this is a good movie to take notes on, and like why making these specific choices is important in telling your story.
Yeah. That's kind of on my list. I mean, it is and it isn't. Like, I would like to see it, but I'm more in favor of, at the moment, seeing War for the Planet of the Apes.
Sure.
Just because I want to see one of those movies in theater.
Yeah.
And this is the last one, so it's like I gotta do that.
I'm happy, Will, that you saw a good movie.
Yeah, dude. I feel that you saw a bad movie. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, Cyrus.
Yeah.
Speaking of movies, if we're gonna move on, something that I completely spaced on, Comic-Con happened last weekend or this past weekend.
Yeah.
Well, we were at the cabin, so it's like, oh yeah, that's happening. And I was kind of glad to be away from it because they would just bomb my whole fucking feed of internet, my social network stuff.
Definite.
Which is kind of what happened with the lead singer of Linkin Park.
Yeah.
So it was
Chester.
Chester. It was. I was gonna say his last name, and I can't. It's like Branham or something like that. It was a bunch of people posting about Chester. Bennington. It was a bunch of people posting about Chester, and then all this weird Comic-Con news at the same time. So it was like nerd stuff. Hey, this awesome lead singer died. Nerd stuff. His death. Nerd stuff. His death. It was weird.
Yeah. Honestly, that's probably why I didn't focus on Comic-Con. I've been shell shocked by that pretty hard. Like,
by Chester's death.
Yeah. This is really unexpected.
I've been listening to Hybrid Theory. So.
Same. That and Meteora.
Yeah. But yeah, so unfortunately with Chester's death, but we had Comic-Con happen, and a lot of trailers popped. I didn't watch all of them. I watched this Justice League one. I'm like, okay, fine, that's happening still. That's my thought on it.
Yeah, I mean, our feeling on it, anyways, is kind of lukewarm at best.
Yeah, it's been said. One trailer I want to talk about, and then we'll get to the other ones that I think we've all seen and are all excited for.
Yeah,
this is my singular one that I'm excited for because you guys haven't watched the first season.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
but Stranger Things, the second season's coming.
Yeah, I saw a trailer for it.
Yeah, and it's this 4-minute long trailer, and I watched it, and I was just... The thing is, I bitch about trailers, and how they could spoil so much of the movie. Like, I think the Kingsman movie has been spoiled because of the trailer.
Oh, God, they've just revealed too much so far.
They revealed too much. It's like, save that. Like, I said this in the past, the trailer for Terminator 2, that ruined the whole movie. Because it ruined this whole great 20-minute segment where you didn't know if Arnold was good or bad.
Right.
Yeah.
But anyway, this I felt was done right, and the thing why I like the trailer so much, because I keep watching it, because I feel like it uses the Michael Jackson's Thriller so well. It's just this great montage of just like suspense and drama, like good kind of character motivation drama of things are happening, things are going to happen, and it looks phenomenal to me. And just using Thriller and it taking place at Halloween, it just works on like so many levels.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's 1984 and stuff like that, so it was just awesome. And it just got me more excited for the next season to come out, which I think comes out on Halloween this year.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, someone said, oh yeah, all this trailer said to me was, oh, they got more money. Which is like,
I mean, that's not a bad thing. Like, get it.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing, but it's also pretty cynical.
Getting a bigger budget means that I don't know. I mean, it could have been delivered in a more cynical way, but I think one of those things people forget is that if shows kind of have to prove themselves for there to be people to invest into. Anything needs to kind of prove its worth, especially these day and age.
Yeah.
Like, that's why we don't have too many experimental games, why we don't have, like, I'm thankful for the indie scenes that we do have. They're kind of like the kind of godsend for uniqueness, but having something that kind of starts in that low budget and then gets, all of a sudden more money added to it, like, fuck yeah, that, especially something that I love, that's such a good thing. Like people shouldn't be cynical about that. Be happy that your show that you have loved and clearly other people have loved is getting more money, because that means that, like, they have more to play with, much more to play with than they normally would have.
True. I'm just happy that this show, this season's premiering in October, because then it will feel a little bit more home for me. Like, okay, it'll be colder. It's going to be the fall. And it's I don't know, it's one of those things where I how to put this, like, I couldn't watch Walking Dead in the summer. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because that's a fall show. And with Stranger Things, it's a fall show.
I've still not watched any of the first season, and I think mostly that's because of the fans.
Yeah, but, like, you can ignore them. I will, like, in all honesty, you like Goonies, you will fucking love it. I'm just saying.
I'm sure I will, but, like, so that's another thing that why I haven't watched or played certain things is, you like this thing, I'm sure that you'll like it because of it. It's like it's one thing you always have to be careful is when you compare something to another thing, you set expectations.
I mean, I get that.
So definitely, like, I would love to watch season 1. I have time where I can. Just gotta watch it when I feel like the kind of noise for it. It's more on a decline. Maybe while I'm on my trip I could watch them, but I have a book to read. Because another movie's coming out soon, and I gotta.
Oh yeah, Dark Tower's coming out.
As much of these books as I can. Fucking shit.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Stranger Things trailer was, like, I think great, just for a proper way to put a trailer together, especially a long TV trailer, like the 4-minute trailer.
Yeah.
That doesn't give anything away. That was the good thing. Mm-hmm. Though the Walking Dead trailer was also 4 minutes away, and it kind of didn't. Well, it did give something away. It gave supposedly there's going to be a flash forward, which I was expecting.
Gotcha.
Because there's a flash forward in the comics of, like, 3 years. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a pretty big jump. But yeah, whatever. Excited about that one too. The other trailers. Since we're on Netflix, I want to talk about Bright, or do you guys want to talk about the other 2 trailers?
We can continue on with Netflix Bright stuff. Yeah, let's do Bright.
Yeah,
because Bright was fucking cool.
Right?
Yeah, it was something I've always wanted, and now I have it.
Yeah.
Now it's coming. It's like, great. I have 2 movies to look forward to in December: Star Wars and Bright.
Yeah.
I mean, you see a lot of...
I want to get together with people and watch Bright. So.
Definitely.
What was it? There was that YouTube video, Wizard Cops. That was pretty funny. And then there was Freddie Wong's video, which was Law and Order, Wizard City or something like that.
Didn't they do that with Key and Peele?
Yeah.
I remember that was on their show.
Yeah, and so it's like you see those concepts, you're like, oh, that's really funny. I want this to be something. And then I actually saw the Bright trailer because I think you shared it, Nick.
Yes, I put it on our page, and
I was like, this is the funniest fucking thing. This is so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I just like the fact that it takes it serious. I mean, it could have been campy as shit.
Oh yeah.
But it actually takes it serious, which is a great thing. That's a motorcycle in the background. My apologies. But it actually takes itself seriously, and it hints at like racism and diversity, with this interesting take that the main character, who's played by Will Smith, is a black guy.
Yeah, which you could say it's like, oh, that's a bit on the nose. Like, no, but I think
a little bit.
I think his shit's funny when he walks out of his house and he goes, "You guys can keep doing your thug stuff, whatever, but I am trying to sell my house."
Yeah.
He's keep doing your gangster stuff. It's not like I'm trying to sell my house or nothing. After he kills that little fairy, and on his front lawn, which I just think is great. But like the orc, I found out is played by Joel Egerton. I probably mispronounced that last name. He's been in Zero Dark 30. He was in the movie Loving about the Richard and Edith Loving, the civil rights case. He was white, she was black, and they got married in Virginia, which was against the law. He was in that, and he's going to play this orc. I don't know who's going to play that elf that we saw, who has the magic wand.
Gotcha.
But I like the fact that they're all practical effects and stuff. Like, the makeup looks really good.
Yes.
With on Egerton.
I like that they've already quantified that the wand is bad or dangerous. Yeah. Like, he's like, it's a nuclear weapon that grants wishes.
Yeah, that's the best line.
A lot
of people have been quoting that. So yeah, I'm all for seeing Bright. It looks great.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really interesting. And when I first saw it, I was like, holy shit! They made Shadowrun the movie, or they made Shadowrun into a movie. And like looking at it more, it's like, well, it's not 100% Shadowrun like, but it has enough of those like concepts and things that I'm used to from that franchise. I think that's what's also awesome is, mixing kind of what we view as the norm and mundane with something that's fantasy based and making that the norm and mundane as well. It's a very cool thing that when explored right, you get some cool movies like this one coming out.
What one?
Bright is what I'm referring to.
Oh yeah. So
I'm super stoked for it.
Yeah. Which I find interesting that we're all stoked for a movie that's going to be on Netflix, but at the same time, it's a movie that's on Netflix that's going to be backed by Will Smith.
Yeah.
Who defined a generation, in my opinion, and especially in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I think it's interesting
it's interesting.
It not only is it a Netflix thing, not only is it backed by Will Smith, but like Will said, or and you, like practical effects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a very defining trait. Gross, like I like CGI. CGI is really cool, and when it's done right, it can bring a world to life. Too much CGI though can definitely become very it can drown out everything else around it.
Yeah,
and it becomes like painful.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what they do with this, because this movie is going to need some CGI to make certain things work. I think.
No, I agree. Yeah.
But I like the fact that for a lot of the up close and personal things, like the orc makeup and stuff, that's cool. I also want to see I want to see like not so much any snippet of the movie that shows like the action and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just want to see like the mundane and like what the fuck traffic's like, or like maybe taking garbage out to the trash. To like the garbage truck or something. I want to see what kind of problems, like, oh shit, we have goblins in the trash again, or some other shit. Like,
sure,
yeah.
I want to see what that will consist of.
Yeah, if Bright is successful, I wouldn't be surprised if they make some like either a sequel to it or another type of movie, or just something that's based in the same world.
Sure,
yeah.
And we see, because right now they're basically just saying there's humans and elves and orcs living together. I think they're just doing those two races because people, like muggles, for lack of a better word, people who aren't nerds, know of elves and orcs because of Lord of the Rings. Because fucking everyone, I think, saw Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it'd be a shocker if most people by this time hadn't seen or like watched even like a little 20 minutes of a Lord of the Rings or a Hobbit movie.
Yeah, so. Because of that, they're kind of going to just keep it with those races. If they do a sequel or a pseudo-sequel then we could easily see something with more races, with like minotaurs or goblins. Seeing a gangster goblin would be interesting.
Yeah.
Or dark elves, drows or something like that. Yeah. So
some of the more potentially terrifying races.
Yeah, so like this world can expand and we can see more races, and I just think that'd be neat.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for the movie's good and it does well. I don't know how you judge a movie premiering on Netflix because it doesn't have a box office.
I mean, I think you still treat it similarly. It's definitely not the same, but yeah, I think you can still treat it akin to it.
Do we judge it by the number of server drops from too many people trying to watch it once?
Maybe. Probably a bunch of likes and 5-star ratings, I guess. Yeah. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I actually think this might be one of Netflix's first movies, like actual movie. No, wait.
No,
I'm wrong.
Definitely not true.
It's not true because I'm thinking of all the shit Adam Sandler movies.
Well, there's that, and I've seen like some of the other non-Adam Sandler related ones.
I mean, isn't Netflix making Death Note? We already talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Like, I think this is definitely the first movie Netflix is making that actually looks really interesting.
I would agree.
That's how I feel like this is a step for them in the right direction.
Yeah.
They already do so much other stuff. Like, for instance, slight topic. This was announced at Comic-Con, I think. Do you guys know what the Umbrella Academy is?
No.
The Umbrella Academy
sounds familiar.
Is a comic written by Gerard Way, who is once the lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
Okay.
It was his brainchild for a while. He wrote... there's basically 2 volumes. One is The Apocalypse Suite, and the other one is 1986, I think it's basically sorry, not 1986, 1970 something. But basically, they're comics. They're really cool. It's a very different type of superhero story, right?
Yeah,
I've heard of it.
Netflix is making a show series off for it,
okay.
following the comic, right? And that's cool. I think that's a really smart move for Netflix because it's like they're picking up something that isn't necessarily well known.
Yeah, but
it has a big enough audience where they could definitely put the money down on it, and I think it will attract more people to like them. Because I think that's been Netflix's one problem is they kind of have a flickering like and don't like with their fans, like people who use Netflix a lot.
Partly that's due to the fact that Netflix has gotten rid of a lot of the stuff that made people go to Netflix, and now Netflix's goal is to have half the content that they have be their own. By, I think, 2020, they want half the stuff that they're streaming to be their own series and movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is ticking a lot of people off because it's like, I want to go see this movie. Hey, is it on Netflix? No, it's not on Netflix. Which wasn't that wasn't the norm like 5 years ago. That you can see any movie on Netflix. It felt like.
Yeah, pretty much.
And now it's like, you want to see that movie? It's either on Hulu or Amazon or something like that. And it's weird because a while back Netflix said we don't want to be the AOL of like streaming videos. But at the same time, I think this is kicking themselves in the nuts with making their own content. But at the same time, no movie distributor wants to give Netflix the rights to their movies if they're having to compete with Netflix's own movies. So it's weird.
Yeah, they're kind of caught in a weird paradox that they kind of created for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I get them wanting to make their own shit, but yeah, I mean, it's weird trying to see a movie now. Almost like it's like, I can rent it on Comcast, or I can stream it here, and you're like, motherfucker, why don't I just go to Target and buy Logan? It's like it's like you can buy movies. That's the weird thing. It's like you can just go out and buy that movie because we live in an era for the past 15 years or maybe 10 years where Blockbuster and Hollywood Video don't exist anymore.
So I just picked up John Wick 2. Speaking of movies, so yeah, like definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's good movies, and you should buy them and you should own them because they're fantastic to watch.
There are times where you want to go see them, and your options are: do I either A, go out and buy this movie, B, hope that it's on HBO one of the random times I've decided to hop on HBO, or do I try and find it illegally through some streaming site? And it's like, you're caught in kind of a predicament these days.
Yeah, that's kind of what's facing with me with trying to watch Justice League movies, the animated
ones.
Oh,
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I want to watch Bad Blood and Throne of Atlantis, and nope, can't find it anywhere.
Yeah.
Without spending money, and it's like, well, I shouldn't spend the money because they have shit to save, like a computer.
Right.
So yeah, it's difficult, but
it really is.
Whatever. That's enough ranting about Netflix. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. So I want to get onto this. Yeah. So when me and Will saw Spider-Man, they showed the trailer for Black Panther.
Yep.
And I leaned over to Will and said, "I'm more excited for this than I am for Thor."
Right.
And after the premiering of this movie, this second trailer for Thor, I'm like, okay, now I'm excited. Now it seems like this will be good.
Yeah, this was you don't want to reveal your hand too early with these movies, but I'm really thankful this trailer finally came out because it gives a way better feel of what to expect from Thor.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm really excited that Mark Ruffalo gets to be both Bruce Banner and Hulk.
Yeah.
That because that surprised me because I thought it was just going to be Hulk most of the time.
Sure.
Which was like okay, but I actually really like Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner. And
same.
And so to see that was like, I'm so much more into this now than I was before.
Right?
Yeah. I'm into the fact that Hulk seems, quote, stable and can hold a conversation.
Yeah, I really like that. Was such a cool thing to add finally. Like, it's stuff that we've seen in many of the animated that Hulk can talk, but finally get it in the movies is fucking great.
Yeah. I mean, he only talks once in Avengers, and he says "puny god."
Right.
But that's about it. So
the original,
it was really cool.
2004 Hulk movie. He
in what?
The original Hulk movie that they tried the first time before Edward Norton's. Edward Norton's.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He did talk a few times in that, but it was really hard to tell.
Right.
Because there was so much other things going on. That was the problem.
Yeah, the only thing I remember with him is that weird dream, I guess, for lack of a better word, hallucination. And he says puny human. That's all I remember him saying.
He yells a few things during the final fight, but you can't hear it because all the lightning noises and shit. And it's like, well, why have him talk? Like, if I can't hear it.
He does speak in the Edward Norton one.
Yeah.
He says Hulk smash. That's before he defeats Abomination. So,
I mean,
but
this was cool because I like the fact that there's like a connection between him and Thor.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that they're setting that up, and I'm just kind of wondering, like, what is going to be the fucking bridge between? Because I thought Guardians was going to be the bridge, but like, what is going to be the bridge between, like, the movie that's going to basically bring like Thanos into it and Infinity War? What's going to like connect all that together? Because after Thor, it's Black Panther, and then it's the Avengers movie.
Right.
I have a feeling
so
it's Jeff Goldblum's character, and I base that off some precursor information that his character is brothers with the Collector.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and so therefore that's the only connection this movie has to Infinity Stones. Which the Collector still has, 2? Which Thanos needs.
Yeah, I think it's 2. I think he only has 1.
Was it what? No, because remember the at the end of Thor 2? Was it like, no, they don't want to have two because they bring up both the red one and...
No, they only bring the ether to the Collector. They kept the Tesseract at Asgard.
Right, but the Collector also has the purple stone from Guardians.
No, the Guardians gave that to Nova Prime.
Was it Nova Prime that got it?
Yeah, Nova Prime.
It went to the Collector. Oh, it was going to go to the Collector, and then
and it blew up.
Flipped up a little bit.
But so yeah, I'm banking it on Jeff Goldblum's character because that's the only connecting character right now I've seen.
Yeah, possibly.
By the way, one other thing. I love that I saw Hulk fight Fenrir.
Oh, yeah, that looks dope.
Which, sorry. Is that demon-looking thing at the end?
It's the big wolf.
Okay, I didn't see a big wolf.
Yeah, there was a big wolf where that charges Thor.
Okay. Yeah.
Fenrir.
I remember now. I thought you were talking about the big demon thing at the end.
No.
Yeah, there's two wolves in Norse mythology. And Fenrir's one of them. And if I'm correct, he's the one that eats the sun. And he's supposed to be a big black wolf. And I was like, when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, they're doubling down on this Norse mythos.
That's badass. I mean, awesome.
Oh yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah. I wonder how... Well, I mean, it is a Thor movie. We probably will get a lot of Norse mythology stuff in it.
Oh, definitely.
So, by the way, there's one thing about Fenrir that's really important. He is in Mythos. He is the son of Loki.
Right.
So hopefully, like, it's interesting to see Hulk fighting it, even though it's something that supposedly Loki might have control over.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering if Loki will be Loki in this movie and betray Thor at some point.
I mean, that's kind of to be expected by this point. But we'll see if that actually does happen.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I really like this movie. It did make me excited, finally, for this Thor movie. So, I'm happy with it.
Yep. Do we want to move on to the other trailer now?
Sure, yeah. I mean, how we're doing on time? Yeah, we can talk about it.
So the other exciting trailer to come out of Comic-Con that we got a chance to watch was Ready Player One finally got its trailer.
Which I forgot was getting a movie.
Yeah.
Like, I had not heard anything for so long, and then that dropped, and I was like, oh shit, that's right.
Yeah. And that trailer looks like it's gonna be fun. I've not read the book. Shane, have you?
I actually have not.
Okay. And Nick, you've not either, correct?
No, I just have to probably phone up like the $10. I think it's. I don't know if I want to read shit on my Kindle. I'd rather go and buy the actual book.
I feel you, man. Paperback book definitely feels good. So I like it's for me currently. It's going to be hard to make comparisons between the movie to the book, but it looks super exciting.
Yeah.
It definitely looks like it's going to be an awesome movie and right up our alleys.
For sure. It's not that old of a book, too. It's only 2011.
Yeah, it's not that old at all.
Yeah.
That's the funny part. I remember seeing it on Barnes & Noble's news shelf.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I remember seeing it like, oh, that looks interesting. Never read it. And then, what was it? When I heard they were making a movie, I asked someone who did read it what's about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was like, my immediate response is, oh, I'd watch a movie about that, even though it's a fucking book and I can just read it.
Yeah.
What's interesting is, like, it's this movie that's literally got into the zeitgeist and now is in, like, the top 20 best of dystopian books, like right along with Androids. Do Androids Count Electric Sheep?
Yeah.
And I, Robot. So it's like, yeah, all of a sudden this 6-year-old book is solidified as like being like up there, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I have to read the book because it seems like a lot of people say it's right up my alley. So
I mean, definitely for us in the kind of the the era we grew up in, with kind of seeing the evolution of gaming, that kind of culture, it definitely is us.
For
and
sure.
I think it'd be a shame if we did not read it before we saw the movie. I also think it probably we'd appreciate the movie more. I know I've felt that way of many book to movie adaptations. I've appreciated the movie's interpretation of the book after I've read it, which is why I'm reading the Dark Tower series, or as much of it as I feasibly can. I definitely would like to sit down with Ready Player One.
Same.
I think that, honestly, that's true most of the time, but sometimes it also depends on if you really want to read the book. Like,
sure.
Because Hunger Games, right, came out as a movie.
Yeah.
I never read Hunger Games, and even though I saw the trailer for it, nothing struck me as like, oh, I should read the book.
Right.
Not to say they aren't good, but it's just like, sometimes...
Well, people would agree that they aren't good.
Yeah. But so, like, I'm on the fence about Ready Player One, because at the same time, it's like, I kind of want to go into the movie not knowing anything.
Sure.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just to experience the movie, then go back and read the book to see how they changed it. Because...
I see what you're saying.
Because the thing is, the premise for the book is really fucking cool. And I really like sci-fi. But the problem is, a lot of cool sci-fi is kind of better experienced visually because of just, in my opinion, how expansive it can be and how close to, like, reality it can kind of be.
Right.
So, like, I'm kind of on the fence. It's
sure,
just
that's understandable.
No, but, like, sci-fi is more about, like it's looking into the future to look back at ourselves. That's kind of the whole point of sci-fi. Like, that's, and like, do androids count Electric Sheep as Blade Runner? And that has, like, a bunch of, like, mythos and analogies and stuff like that to what is happening today. So, and same with iRobot. So it's like, that's the point of sci-fi. As a book, it's supposed to make you question and think and feel something different. It's not about the visual spectacle, which I think is the problem with movie sci-fi half the time. It's like, it's green screen, it's computers and, just these fantastical things, and after a while it becomes noise for your eyes.
I mean, that was definitely the problem with Valerian.
Well, yeah, I mean, there you go. That's the fucking problem. You shouldn't hope for that for Ready Player One when you have a shit movie already. And at the same time, that's my problem with the Avatar movie. It's just visual overhaul,
so the big difference I hope for Ready Player One between Valerian is that it's not. The problem with Valerian was it's this thing about Fifth Element, right? Amazing concept. So you think a whole bunch of crazy shit visuals will tell that story without actually giving it substance.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what I'm hoping for Ready Player One isn't just to see a bunch of cool visuals, but I want to see the characters live that story. And I kind of want to see it told that way before reading the book, just because, what the thing with books is, you see it a certain way, right?
Sure. Your brain comes up with the visuals.
It's always a weird thing where it's like, do I read the book before watching it? Do I read the book after? But I definitely would hope that with Ready Player One, and for what the trailer showed, because the trailer was really cool, is that they appreciate the substance more than try to just be like, oh, look at this amazing 3D image we're trying to print or create.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's Spielberg. It's a Spielberg film, so you can trust him to a certain degree with how he presents a story.
Yeah.
So, which is good, I think. It bugged the hell out of me when I was watching the film, or the trailer, I should say, because I'm like, who the hell is playing the main character? Who the fuck is this? And it was bugging the crap out of me. So I finally looked it up, and it's the guy. I don't know if you guys ever saw the third X-Men movie, Apocalypse.
No, I hadn't.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, he plays Cyclops.
Ah.
Yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. Cyclops / Scott Summers. What bugged me because he looked like another actor who. This is gonna sound really weird, but I just don't like the look of him. Because when when he's on screen, there's something about him that I just find douchey. I'm trying to think of a movie he's been. He was in. Fuck. You guys seen trailers for that movie War Dogs with Jonah Hill?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the guy in that I'm talking about. That I don't like the look of him.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's who I thought was going to be in.
You're talking about Miles Teller.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, well, Miles Teller was also in the Fantastic Four movie.
Yes, one of the failed Fantastic Four movies. He played Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, that's who I thought was playing the main character in Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't want to watch this asshole in this movie. But it's not him. It's another guy who I don't really have a problem with. Yet. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how it comes out, right?
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, I'm gonna read the book because I should read more because I don't read a whole lot.
I definitely would like to read this book because it is something that that I can relate to being of the generation that we are. That it definitely has some akinness to it, so I like it.
Yeah, same. Plus, there's a lot of 80s references in it, so it's like, alright, cool.
Yeah.
Which I like and hate the 80s at the same time. So.
I mean, there are definitely elements of the 80s that are pretty garbo, but I'm definitely liking more of the kind of 80s style retro funk that we're getting more of these days.
Yeah.
So,
what's interesting about this character is he fantasizes what he thinks the 80s were, which is the point of it all. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. We got till March 30th. I looked up the release date.
Okay. So we have a bit of time then.
We have a bit of time, but it's like, oh, okay, so they don't want to compete with Marvel. That makes sense.
Very smart.
It doesn't want to compete with Marvel, and it doesn't want to compete with the Han Solo film.
Yeah.
Which comes out next May. So
it's good on them to basically be successful.
Yeah, for sure. You were gonna say something, Shane?
No. Just agreeing.
Okay,
with you.
I thought you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, those were the trailers we're excited for, I guess.
Yeah. Those were the
Comic-Con
trailers
show.
that we like. As soon as I saw them on my feed, I kind of, we ended up pulling them up on our trip and taking a watch of them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are a few more trailers we may have missed from Comic-Con, but I ain't fretting over it. Those ones that I did see were very exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather go to Comic-Con at least once. I mean, you guys, I know you will are kind of like on the whole thing.
Yeah, it's not my shtick, but
it is and it isn't. The problem I have with Comic-Con is just how Hollywood has taken it over. That's kind of the thing. Like, we're talking about Comic-Con, about comics, the comic convention, and we're just talking about movie trailers.
Movie trailers, show trailers, mostly stuff not necessarily related to comics anymore.
Yeah, of the 4 trailers that we talked about, 1 is a comic.
Yes.
So, I mean,
the only real reason I would go to Comic-Con, to be honest, at this point, because panels are cool, seeing movie trailers and stuff is great. I honestly would only go just to probably stand in line to meet Stanley once.
If you could.
Yeah, if I could.
I would...
That's about it. Like if I'm going to go to Comic-Con, I want to meet the grandfather of comics, basically. Or one of the Titans, if you want to, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to go to Comic-Con just to explore it, go there with a decent camera and take pictures of the awesome cosplay that people do.
Yeah, that's another good thing.
And get merch and art books and things like that. So, Todd McFarlane occasionally does a panel about explaining how he draws and being an artist. I think that'd just be cool to go and watch. So Yeah, but the tickets go too damn fast. There's no fucking way I'm going to Comic-Con unless I win a trip or some shit.
Sure. I feel you on that.
Yeah. Well, where are we at? An hour and 10?
Yeah.
Mind if I do a little bit of blurb?
Sure.
So, have not beaten Doom yet, but I beat Titanfall 2, the campaign, which was a lot easier than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And now I like these games. I like mech games. I like the first-person shooter games. Of the whole thing that Call of Duty essentially started. I do like that. But at the same time, this game, after finishing the campaign yesterday, I put it in the comparison of a hand job.
Okay.
Because it's just like I kind of wanted more.
Gotcha.
Like campaign-wise, I wanted more, and at the same time, like I predicted this game way too fucking well to be thrilled by it.
Gotcha.
Like on the story level.
Mm-hmm.
So and the action sequences with when you're just in the Titan, when you're just with BT, and you're going around fighting other Titans, didn't feel super dire, and it really felt like you were on a rail. A rail you can control, yeah, but it feels like you lost things when you were in there.
Gotcha.
Fighting enemy Titans that were super weak, and fighting the bosses I felt were kind of a bit of a letdown. They also did something anime that I don't like that the bosses did, which is they stepped out of their Titans and like they gestured that they were going to kill you, and it's like, just get back in your fucking tank. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could have fixed with the campaign. But it was still a good game. I'm not dogging it. I do want a third game of this because I know they explored, but they have to make the main character more interesting than, I mean, he's just generic white guy pilot named Jack Cooper. Like, how many Jacks has Tom Clancy set to save the world? Like that's kind of where I put this character at. There's just like,
how many times does Tom Clancy just name a character Jack?
Yeah, exactly. But like the other problem is like the models, the human models in this game, for the exception of maybe two of the bad guys, are atrocious looking in my opinion. The leader of the rebellion looked a lot better. Not the rebellion, the militia. The leader of the rebellion, she looked a lot better on the 360 in the first game than she does in this game.
Rip.
Yeah, which, I mean, her face looks... I could send you a picture. Her face looks almost... What's the word? Like an old-fashioned puppet, I guess?
That's weird.
It looks weird. I can send you a picture. It just looks off. There's that problem I had with it. It's just... I was expecting a bit more on a campaign level.
Gotcha.
And I also didn't really care for the whole sci-fi element of, oh, we found this weapon in space. It's like, god damn it. So, I mean, other than that, it was okay. And I'm playing the multiplayer right now, and it's like, it loves to constantly reward you. Like, even if you fuck up, it will reward you.
Okay.
Yeah, which is interesting, but I also don't like the fact that you yourself have to level up, and the gun you have is leveling up, and the Titan you have is leveling up.
That's a lot of leveling up.
There's too many levels. It's stupid. So there's things I would love if they went back what they did with the first game. I don't like the fact that Titans are limited to, oh, this is the Ion Titan. It only can hold this laser weapon. Oh, this is the Scorch Titan. It can only hold this fire weapon. Like, can I switch the weapons out with various things? No, you can't. Like, it sucks. But yeah, I gripe, but at the same time, I'm still going to keep playing it and not finish Doom, which I should finish Doom. And every other fucking game that's coming out, because we're 4 days away from August, and then it's 2 months away from October, and Shadow War's coming. Need to finish that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Wolfenstein. So, yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to say that my opinion on Titanfall. Fun game, it is. But still, there's things I would love to fix. If I could have the developer's ear, there's things I would like to say to them.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's about any game. So, yeah. I mean, does anyone else have any last minute things to say?
No, I do not on my end.
No, I'm pretty good.
Okay. I guess we will end the podcast here.
Yep, sounds like a good plan.
Alrighty. Well, thank you for listening. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If this is Facebook, maybe give us a comment or a share. Even a like. An emoji, maybe.
God.
Yeah. Jesus, Shane, you said that all way too fast. I don't think they heard you.
I'm sure they caught that. And if I have to, I'll slow it down at editing.
There you go.
No, fuck it.
If you're
Leave
on
it as
Facebook.
No.
I'm joking.
Alright.
Yeah, I think with that, we're out.
Yep. Sounds good.
Yeah, Will, good luck on your trip.
Thanks, man. That's the objective.
Yeah. Fucking charge.
Cereal for cereal.
Alright. We're out. Later.
Deuces.
Later days.